Dear Professor, how have you been? Sitting on your nice comfy chair, not moving, not going anywhere, not marching
No,
in the streets of Washington, D.C., in the
no,
cold
no.
for hours.
Right.
How is it?
By the way, I want to congratulate you because our fans probably don't know that Alex and I are celebrating our first year anniversary. I just paid $348 to renew our subscription to the Podbean platform.
You've been
And
doing
so
this
now,
for a whole year?
yeah, we've been doing this
Huh.
for you. We have over 8,943 downloads. We have 215 episodes and a lot of fans, people now in the complex of condominiums where I live, they're now stopping me on the street and commenting on how much they like our podcast. I said, so send some money. We're gonna
That's
pay you.
one thing you can do, guys, is you can always
Yeah,
throw money at us via PayPal
right.
or the
So,
Patreon system. Really
right.
appreciate it.
Why doesn't somebody just send us $348 and we'll be guaranteed for next year? We won't bother you again. Okay, just do
Yeah.
that.
No, we
Don't
probably
bother.
will.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
so speaking of
so
bothering people,
yeah, yeah.
um, I had the wonderful pleasure of waking up at like 6 in the morning, taking the metro, public transit all the way down to DC,
Hmm.
and getting a front row seat to the very first presidential address at the March for Life.
Right,
I
right.
was about 30 feet away from the stage, and I arrived
Wow.
3 hours early.
Do you have pictures that you're going to send me?
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah, but you got to send it to me because I got to put them
Okay,
on this. Yeah, yeah.
okay, Boomer. Yeah,
At
you'll
least three good pictures that you can send me.
Okay,
I
okay,
don't do
okay.
Instagram. I'm not a brat, so I don't do.
You don't eat good food either.
No,
Anyway,
I eat
so
avocado, which are bad for you. Anyway,
so
so
yeah, go
so
ahead.
okay, so I think we should start with those of you who live on the far side of the moon or under a rock, who are
Or you only watch CNN.
or you only watch CNN, or you live in Colorado, let's say. Um,
No. I disagree. People from Colorado were at that march. People from every state were at that march. People
all right,
from Ireland. The band came from Ireland.
right. Why don't
It
you
was
explain? Why don't you explain what the Right to Life movement actually is? Go.
all right. Well, unfortunately, they waited all the way until 1973, rather than when abortion conversation was starting, to talk about how human beings, once they're in existence, deserve to not be killed if they're innocent.
One would
And
think. One would
what
think
you
that.
know,
One would think that a mother killing her own child would be such an egregious, horrible assault on any concept
let
of
me let me let
decency
me
and
let me
beauty.
stop you right
One
there.
would think that anybody who
Hold on.
contemplated such a thing
You asked me
would
the question. Let
realize.
me finish my answer. Anyway,
uh,
the pro-life movement really started with the first wave feminists in the early 20th century, suffragettes, right to vote. It was hijacked by pro-abortion men who were interested in population control, and a couple of women.
no, they just wanted to get laid without any consequences.
I know, disgusting, terrible
Right.
people. But to be fair, some of them did switch sides. They had regrets in life and then switched
You
sides.
mean they became homosexual?
No. I mean, they became pro-life advocates. Jane
Oh,
Roe, from the Roe v. Wade. Her real name is Norma McCorvey.
yeah,
She was the defendant in the case. She actually became a pro-life activist.
that's
She
right.
never had an abortion.
That's
A lot
right.
of people don't know that. She was just exploited by greedy lawyers. Because who wasn't? Who
No,
never heard that one
lawyers
before?
are
Anyway,
greedy.
I'm never gonna get through this with you. 1973 comes around, and the Roe v. Wade. Basically, 7 men all decided. You know what? The Constitution clearly says somewhere, if you look really in between the lines, like the Fourth Amendment, the right to privacy, which the government ironically doesn't respect in any other respects,
Right.
somehow has the right to abortion, to kill a child while it's in the womb.
Let's be clear. Abortion means that the mother kills their baby.
No, but see, let's be even more clear. That was the pro-life movement early on. Now the pro-life movement has evolved very much so that the belief is more akin to the entire culture is both men and women are working to manipulate vulnerable women or people who feel they're vulnerable into thinking their only choice is to have an abortion. The theme for this year's march was to be pro-life is to be pro-woman. And I really do believe that. No, I mean,
why do these people allow their enemies to hijack their very message? Abortion is about a mother killing her baby.
Okay,
it's not about these nuanced bullshit that you just mentioned.
It's not nuanced.
Yeah, of course it's nuanced.
Who's sticking the forceps in the uterus? Is it the woman or the mother herself, or is it the doctor? Is it Planned Parenthood? Who is it? Who's it legalizing it? Is it the mother or is it the politician?
All of the above.
Fine, but don't put the principal blame only on one person. There's a lot that I definitely agree that mothers are, there is a certain amount of blame to be put on. So
how does the mother get into the situation where somebody else is putting forceps up her vagina and crushing the skull of her baby? How does that happen?
Okay.
Does somebody put a gun to her head and drag her inside? Is that what's happening?
No, some people.
So you're telling me not to blame the mother? Are you crazy?
In some cases, yes. In some cases, absolutely.
What cases are you talking about?
In what cases? How about cases where every single person they know tells them this is what they need to do?
So they're just stupid. They're just idiots. They're morons.
I'm not saying they're stupid.
That's even worse. That's even worse than being a moron.
Okay, what I'm saying is, see, this attitude is exactly the reason why. Yes, this attitude is exactly why the pro-life movement stalled for so long. The only reason, and I really mean it, the only reason the pro-life movement has gained traction is because it has been being run by women. I really mean that, honest and sincerely. I really do. Yeah, you can get mad at me all you want, but
I'm not mad at you. I'm discussing a point with you. We're having an intellectual exchange. Why? Let me ask you this. Why would the pro-life movement allow their enemies to define the argument? You know as well as I do that if you define the argument, you're going to win the argument.
And I think that you are accepting their definition. That's exactly what I think.
Whose definition?
What you're doing is you're basically exclusively putting the shame and blame on the woman. You, the white man, are doing exactly what they say they do, or what they say that pro-life people do.
I admit that. I freely admit that. I surrender. You're right. You're correct. Okay.
And you are destroying yourself.
It's the fault of the mother. It's the mother who knocks on the door of the clinic and says, help me abort my child.
That's not true whatsoever. That's not true in all cases. It's true in some. It's not true in all. It's true in some. It's not true in all.
Explain how it's not true in some cases.
I'm not going to just. I don't want to just list off exceptions. But do you agree? That the person who makes the choice is not just influenced by herself? Do you not agree that there are other forces influencing her?
Give me that again, slowly, please.
Do you not agree that there are other sources that are influencing the choice of the mother?
Of course.
And do you believe that there are some vulnerable women that truly are exclusive, or perhaps minors, like some abortions happen for teenagers. Some are minors. Do you think
even if I answer yes to your question, that does not exculpate that woman from being morally responsible for the murder of her child?
I'm not saying.
Even if I agree with you,
I am not saying that it does morally. For the woman gets I'm not saying that the woman is no moral burden.
Sure, there are influences on people that have abortions. We all know that.
But why, don't you think it's much more powerful to target them and instead help the woman by placing her in a place where she is filled with sources of positive influence, rather than just say it's her fault and just leave it at that?
No.
That's exactly what it sounds like you're saying.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. You have to admit that you've done something wrong before you can transit into moral rectitude. You have to admit that you've done an error. And if you're not ready to admit that, you say, oh, somebody made me do it. The devil made me do it. Oh, the professor at college made me do it. Somebody else made me do it. What the hell kind of a morality is that?
I'm not at all saying that she gets no blame or guilt. But what I am saying is that you're putting all of it on her.
It
That's
is
just,
all of it. She doesn't have to go to the clinic. She can say no to the influences. Just say no to the college professor who
yeah. Why?
wants to pay for your
Okay.
abortion.
Let me put it like this. Why in the
Look,
world would she want to listen to you? Let me
what?
put it that way. Why in the world would she want to listen to you? Why would any young girl who's thinking about having an abortion care to listen to you?
Because I'm a white
Why?
male. Because I'm a white male.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you
Sure.
why.
Okay.
Because
Thank you.
I'll tell you why. Because I'm right.
You know what?
I'm
That doesn't.
objectively. No, I'm going to frighten you
But
even
that
more.
doesn't
I'm
make
going to
it.
frighten
But that
you
doesn't
even
mean
more.
she'll act it.
I'm going to frighten you even more. I'm objectively right.
And you know what? That doesn't matter.
Fine. That's fine.
It does. You know, I
They
agree with
don't
you.
get my help and they don't get my tax dollars.
I don't want you to help them. That's the thing.
We
And that's
are.
what.
We are.
That's what.
Planned Parenthood
Shut up
is
and listen.
against
Shut up
your
and listen.
tax dollars.
Shut up and listen. What I'm saying is that your technique of telling them that they're a murderer is not going to convince them not to have a second abortion.
Oh, really?
No, I don't.
And you know this for a fact.
I think
You
that
know,
failed-
you have knowledge of other minds. You have knowledge of other minds. And perfect knowledge at that.
You know why? It's because that was in your day during the 70s and 80s the
Well,
technique.
now
The 70s,
you're putting the ages fallacy.
Absolutely.
Now I'm an old
Absolutely.
geezer, so
Absolutely.
now I can't
You know what's
possibly
happening now?
I
You know
can't
what's happening
possibly
now?
be reasonable with you because
You know
now
what
I'm just
happens?
an old fart.
You know what happens when a vulnerable woman comes to you and you tell them that they're a murderer versus what happens when you say, "Here's some ways that I can help you."
Yeah.
There's a powerful difference between that. And you're acting as though, yeah, powerful. I'm absolutely, it empowers them. I know that word.
So here's a poor woman. Let's follow your model. So here's a poor woman who has fallen under the influence of other people and goes to get an abortion. And now you want to say, "Oh no, don't listen to those influences. Listen to my influence."
You're
So
strong.
you're just a robot. You poor woman. You're just a robot going from influence to influence.
Let me ask you. What exactly matters? That you get your sense of morality, which is correct morality, by telling them that they are murderers, or saving the life of a child, and ultimately the dare I say it, the soul of the mother.
What's important is for the mother to be clear about what she has done, what she has allowed to do, and what she wants to do.
Not post-abortion.
And she needs to be told she's a murderer.
Well, there's one reason why I will never let you near the pro-life movement, and one reason why it's growing without your help.
And you know that I've never mentioned the word God here, ever.
Yeah,
I've never mentioned the word God.
Okay? That.
And I make my argument based upon
that aspect of the conversation is irrelevant and material. There were over 225,000 marchers at that march. Most of them were young women. I would say 40% or so. The fact is, telling people they're murderers does not change their mind. Telling people
even if they are murderers, right?
It doesn't change their mind.
Right.
Even if they are, yes, it doesn't change their mind, because we're not dealing with explaining what truth is. They already know what truth is. The idea is you're changing hearts and minds.
Oh.
That's the fact. All right, guys, we're out of time. Thank you for listening to us bicker and rant. We had fun.
It was a very good discussion.
I
love how you forcefully defend your position, by the way. You're really good at it.
I love how you defend